You see someone suffering, and your first instinct is to help. You listen to their stories of being misunderstood, betrayed, and broken. You offer your compassion, your time, your very soul to help them heal. It feels like the right thing to do, the noble thing. You believe your empathy can save them. But what if you're not saving them? What if you're just feeding them? What if that broken person you're trying to fix is actually a narcissist, and your empathy is the very thing they're using to destroy you? This is the dark reality for empaths caught in the narcissist's web. They don't see your compassion as a gift. They see it as a tool. Today, we're exposing the 5 psychological tricks narcissists use to systematically dismantle an empath's spirit. We're counting down from 5 to 1, revealing the sinister mechanics behind their emotional warfare. Let's start with trick number 5, the hero's poison. This is where it all begins. The narcissist presents themselves as a victim, a beautifully tragic figure who just needs one person to finally understand them. They've been hurt, they say. Everyone else has let them down. You, with your deep well of empathy, feel a profound pull to be their savior. This taps directly into what psychologist Carl Jung called the healer archetype within you. You see their pain, their shadow, and believe you can bring it to light. But the hero's poison is a trap. The narcissist isn't looking for a healer, they're looking for a host. By casting you as the hero, they place the entire burden of their happiness, their stability, and their emotional regulation onto your shoulders. You're no longer a partner or a friend. You're an emotional janitor, constantly cleaning up their messes. The defense? Recognize that you cannot be a savior. True healing is an inside job. You can support someone, but you cannot do the work for them. As Carl Rogers taught, unconditional positive regard is powerful, but when it's directed at someone who refuses to grow, it becomes a license for them to exploit you. You must offer your compassion with a firm boundary, understanding that your role is not to rescue, but to support someone who is actively rescuing themselves. Now, for trick number 4, the empathy trap. Once you've accepted the role of hero, the narcissist springs this trap. They will create endless crises, dramas, and emergencies that only you can solve. Your plans are cancelled because they're having a bad day. You stay up all night listening to their circular complaints. They need you, they say. No one else gets it. This is a deliberate strategy of isolation and exhaustion. They are conditioning you to prioritize their needs above your own. This is what psychoanalyst Karen Horney described as a neurotic need for control, using emotional dependency to ensnare their caregiver. The narcissist feeds on your emotional energy, and the more you give, the more they demand. You become drained, foggy, and disconnected from your own life, friends, and goals. To defend against the empathy trap, you must practice what I call emotional budgeting. You have a finite amount of emotional energy each day. Before you give it away, ask yourself, is this a genuine crisis, or is it a manufactured drama designed to keep me hooked? Is this person taking any steps to solve their own problems? Reclaim your time and energy. Set non-negotiable boundaries around your availability. It will feel selfish at first, because you've been trained to feel guilty, but it is an act of survival. This brings us to trick number 3, the guilt hook. If you start to pull away, to set those boundaries, the narcissist will unleash the guilt hook. They'll say things like, "I thought you were different," or "After all I've told you, you're abandoning me too." They will twist your compassion into a weapon against you, making you feel like a terrible person for daring to have your own needs. This is a masterclass in manipulation, as described by Niccolo Machiavelli, using perceived vulnerability to achieve strategic control. The narcissist knows empaths have a deep-seated fear of hurting others. They use this to keep you in line. They might even escalate their victimhood, hinting that they can't go on without you, placing an unbearable weight of responsibility on your shoulders. The psychological defense here is to detangle your empathy from their manipulation. Your empathy makes you kind, not eternally responsible for another adult's emotional state. Remind yourself, feeling guilty does not mean I am guilty. Guilt is just a feeling, often triggered by manipulation, not by an actual wrongdoing. Repeat it like a mantra. This helps you separate their emotional projection from your own moral compass. Next, we have trick number 2, the mirror game. This is one of the most disorienting and destructive tricks. At the beginning of the relationship, the narcissist mirrored you perfectly. They loved what you loved, shared your dreams, and finished your sentences. You felt seen, understood, like you'd found your soulmate. But this was just a performance. They were studying you, learning your insecurities, your strengths, and your deepest desires. Now, they use that information against you. The mirror game flips. They will accuse you of the very things they are doing. They'll call you manipulative when they are the ones pulling the strings. They'll call you selfish when you finally take a moment for yourself. This is a classic Freudian concept, projection. The narcissist cannot face their own toxic traits, so they project them onto you. For the empath, this is pure psychological torment. You start to question your own reality, your own character. You think, maybe I am the problem. This is the goal of gaslighting, to make you doubt your own sanity so they can maintain control. To break free from the mirror game, you must become an unshakable anchor in your own reality. Keep a private journal. Write down what happened, how you felt, what was said. This isn't for them, it's for you. When your reality is questioned, you can look back at your own words and reaffirm the truth. Trust your intuition above their accusations. Your gut feeling is your most reliable narrator. And now, the most insidious tactic of all. Trick number 1, the emotional debt. This is the final stage where the narcissist reveals their true objective. All the love, the vulnerability, and the connection they offered you wasn't a gift. It was a loan. And now they've come to collect. They will claim you owe them. You owe them your loyalty, your obedience, and your eternal gratitude because they chose you, opened up to you, or loved you. Philosopher Erich Fromm warned about this confusion between love and control. The narcissist's version of love is not a partnership, it is an ownership. They see you as an acquisition, something they have invested in and now have the right to control. This fulfills what Alfred Adler called a drive for dominance, to compensate for a deep-seated feeling of inferiority. By controlling you, they feel powerful. Friedrich Nietzsche called this the will to power. But in the narcissist, it's a desperate, parasitic conquest. You are now trapped in a state of emotional servitude, constantly trying to repay a debt that was never real to begin with. The only way to escape the emotional debt is to declare emotional bankruptcy. You must accept the devastating truth. The love you thought you had was a transaction, and the only way to win is not to play. You have to walk away, understanding that you owe them nothing. The kindness, energy, and love you gave was a gift. A gift is not a debt. Walking away will be the hardest thing you ever do, because you will be grieving a person who never truly existed. But on the other side of that grief is your freedom, your self-respect, and your life. Have you ever tried to save someone who ended up destroying you instead? If this resonates with you, let us know in the comments by writing, "They used my empathy against me." You are not alone in this. If you recognize these patterns in your life, please know that help is available. Reaching out to a qualified therapist or a support group for survivors of narcissistic abuse can provide you with the tools and community you need to heal. Your empathy is not a weakness, it is a superpower. Don't let anyone turn it into a weapon against you. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please consider liking and subscribing for more insights into protecting your energy. Stay strong and stay aware.